Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bold and the Beautiful. Thomas targets Brooke. Is she in danger? Bold and the Beautiful sees Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, back in town and more determined than ever to keep his parents together. That means trouble for Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. But the question is, how bad will it be? To be fair, the Logans are all conspiring against Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddig. That includes Donna Logan, Jennifer Garice, Katie Logan, Heather Tom, and Eric Forrester, John McCook, who's an honorary Logan at this point. If you think about it, doesn't Taylor deserve someone in her corner fighting for her as much as Donna, Katie, and Eric are fighting for Brooke? If you think about it that way, then you see that there's a point to bringing Thomas back, especially with Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Myth-Hinswood, gone, and especially since Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., continues to waffle in the middle between these two women, just ruining everybody's lives. We have found out more since Thomas came back home to LA about what's going on in his personal life. Honestly, it's no wonder his first stop was to see his mom, Taylor, in her office at the hospital. He needed some comfort too. She and Thomas had a really nice little reunion moment. They caught up, and Taylor told Thomas that Brooke was interfering with her engagement to Ridge. But Thomas still doesn't realize the full extent of how much Ridge is part of the problem, because he's the biggest part. Taylor doesn't realize that either, at least not yet. Brooke knows, Ridge knows, and the Logans know. Thomas' next stop was to go over and see his dad at Forrester Creations. Thomas was stunned to see Brooke in Ridge's arms, and Thomas wasn't happy about it, which makes sense because as far as he knows, his parents are happily engaged. Then he walks in on what looks like some cheating. Thomas directly asked his daddy Ridge Forrester if the wedding to Taylor is still on. Thomas told Ridge, "Don't break Taylor's heart again, because the whole family is counting on you." What's whack about that is that Ridge basically reassured Thomas that things are fine, and that he's not going to mess up things. It's already happened. We found out more about why Thomas is back in LA because he was telling his dad why he really needs the closure, or togetherness, of Ridge and Taylor getting married. Part of that is because Thomas' own engagement is off. He and Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, are done. Thomas said he and Paris broke up and that her family is trouble, all of them. He's not wrong, especially since her mom, Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, pulled that horrible con on Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Bill Spencer, Don Diamond. Plus, Thomas said he and Steffi watched Ridge hurt Taylor for years, which is absolutely true. They don't like that. They don't want it for their mom. So Thomas was telling Ridge that the whole reason he's back is to make sure Brooke doesn't get her hooks in Ridge and make him hurt Taylor again. Thomas also said after the split from Paris, he just doesn't know what his life is now, what his purpose is. He tells Ridge that he's feeling untethered. He's got no relationship. He's not working on a fashion line on Bold and the Beautiful. And his son Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samiri, is busy with his friends because he's at that age now. Unfortunately for Ridge, Thomas is hyper-focused on Taylor's happiness. Thomas told Ridge he'd better not trample on Taylor's heart again after she bounced back from the last crisis, which, as we all know, was the broken heart syndrome. Ridge is worried, of course, because Thomas is very intent on making sure Ridge and Taylor get married and Brooke doesn't come between them. After seeing Ridge in Brooke's clutches up at the office, Thomas went to confront Brooke. Again, from Thomas' angle, I do think what he is doing is justified because his parents are happily engaged. As far as he knows, Ridge did not contradict that, and he saw them in what looked like a cheating situation. So he went in there, and as Katie sat looking shocked, Thomas told Brooke, Ridge is marrying Taylor and Brooke, better not try and come between them ever again. Katie was surprised. Brooke's jaw dropped, and then she was glaring. It definitely sounded like the guy we've seen from the past, Dark Thomas. Again, though, think about his perspective. Think about what he's seeing. Brooke is seeing this through the lens of she and Ridge are basically reunited already because of what happened there. But that's not the reality for Thomas for Ridge right now, who's waffling, and definitely not for Taylor.